Welcome to the Short Score, the Team Roping Journal's weekly updates from the team roping world, including from pro rodeo, major jackpots, USTRC, and World Series of Team Roping qualifiers, and more, with hosts Chelsea Shaffer
and Kaitlin Gustave.
Hello, Kaitlin.
Hey, Chelsea.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Short Score. This is the Cowboy Christmas edition of the Short Score. This is the biggest wrap-up you are going to get, before the season ends. So, Kaitlin has a ton of information. She's got who you need to know about that won the most during Cowboy Christmas. She's got the Resistol Rookie that obviously stood out above the pack. And we're going to give you some circuit updates, too, just some quick ones.
Awesome. Well, to start off with the pro rodeo results, obviously, if you guys didn't notice, Clay Smith is still on a roll. He's been on a heater all year, I feel like. Him and Jade Corkill, they're a new team again. They dominated. They added $25,419 to their earnings. I know Jade said that this is the best Cowboy Christmas run he's ever had.
Yeah, he's usually kind of down on Cowboy Christmas, so I'm glad that it was a good one for him. And as, I didn't mention at the very beginning of this episode, but we do have Jade Corkill on today.
Yes.
We talked to him yesterday before he roped at Estes Park. So you can expect to listen to that here after we tell you about everything else that got done.
Yeah, well, to start off, we saw Smith and Corkill, they won the Greeley Stampede. They were 17.4 seconds on three head, and that paid $3,982 a man. They placed second in the first round with a 4.8 second run. That paid a little over $2,000 a man. And they also placed second in the final round with a 6.6 second run. That paid just a little over $1,000 a man. They also won the Eugene, Oregon Pro Rodeo. They were 4.0 over there. That paid $3,429 a man. And then they also tied Brooks DeHosey and Walt Woodard at the Cody, Wyoming Stampede with a 4.8 second run. That paid $8,599 a man. And then they ended their Cowboy Christmas run. They won second in the average at the St. Paul, Oregon Rodeo with a time of 10.5 seconds on two head. That paid $4,395 a man. And they also placed sixth in the first round with a 5.2 second run. And then they tied Lane Carney and Bucky Campbell with a 5.3 second run worth $513 a man.
Awesome. Glad to see those guys kicking butt. No surprises there.
I know. Smith is currently in the number one spot with $92,389. And Jade Corkill shuffled from 10th to 7th with $50,514.
Half of that money he's won in the last 10 days.
Yes. That's pretty sweet.
It's decent.
Pretty decent. Mm-hmm. Another team, and one of them is a Resistol Rookie contender, Eric Rogers and Peyton Bray. They won the second highest amount over the Cowboy Christmas run.
That's unbelievable for a rookie.
That's awesome. Yeah, they won $17,350 total. They won the average at the St. Paul Rodeo. They were 10.3 on two head, and that paid $5,054 a man. They placed fifth in the first round with a 5.1 second run, and they also placed fifth in the second round with a 5.2 second run. They kept going and going in the averages.
I don't think that's a surprise to anybody that knows Eric Rogers. He certainly can catch a lot of steers.
They also, at the Ponoka, Alberta Stampede, they won the rodeo with a time of 19.9 seconds on three head. That paid $2,463 a man. They placed third in the first round at the 6.3 second run, paying a little over $1,000, and they also won the second round with a 5.2 second run, and that paid $1,642 a man. And then they also tied Josh Siggins and Junior Zambrano for first at the annual 4th of July celebration in Window Rock, Arizona. That they were 4.6 seconds, and that paid $2,470 a man.
I don't know if they went in the per for the slack at Window Rock, but I bet the hometown crowd in Window Rock, Arizona was so stoked for Eric Rogers. Technically that's not his hometown. He's from Round Rock. But I'm pretty sure the Navajo Nation was out in full force for Mr. Eric Rogers at Window Rock and was super excited to see him before 6 there.
That's awesome. Yeah, and surely that's circuit money right there for him, for both him and Josh and Junior. And then they also tied Garrett Chick, who is another Resistol Rookie contender this year. He's roping for Ross Ashford. They tied for 5th in the average at the world's oldest rodeo in Prescott, Arizona. And they were each 13.6 seconds on 2 head. That paid a little over $1,000 a man. Rogers and Bray, they placed 6th in the first round of the 7.2 second run. And they also tied Stephen and Jason Doobie and Matt Sherwood and Hunter Koch for 10th at the Home of Champions Rodeo in Red Lodge, Montana with the 4.9 second run. And that paid just a little amount, $54. But
at the end of the year, we will never know
what
$54
paid.
means. Yeah, I mean, $54 could be life or death.
Yeah, Rogers is 21st right now in the world standings with a little over $30,000, and Peyton Bray is 23rd with $28,000.
It's awesome.
It's Caleb Driggers and Junior Noguera. They're always pretty hot throughout the whole year. They added $13,922 to their earnings over the 4th run. They tied Cody Snow and Wesley Thorpe for 1st at the Oakley City, Utah Independence Day Rodeo with a 3.8 second run.
Which we've got that video on our website.
Yes.
Check out teamropingjournal.com. There's a couple videos up there. But Caleb Driggers, Junior Noguera's, their 3.8 run from Oakley City is definitely on the site.
Yes. And then also at the Molalla, Oregon Buckaroo Rodeo, they won 2nd with a 4.5 second run, paid close to almost $3,000 there. They also placed 3rd at the Black Hills Roundup in Belfouche, South Dakota.
Which was a muddy mess, I heard.
Yes, so, I saw pictures, Snapchats, you name it, and it did not look fun.
They were pulling bell boots and splint boots out of the arena. This rain, I don't know, this rain is a blessing and a curse, and it looked like, but it didn't slow Caleb and Junior down.
Yeah, I don't think it hurt them. They were 4.9 over there, and they won a little over $3,000 over there. They also placed 6th at the Home of Champions Rodeo with a 4.5 second run. And then at the Cody Stampede, they tied Paul David Tierney and Tanner Braden and Aaron Macy and Dylan Wingard for 8th with a 5.2 second run. Driggers is 7th in the world, and Noguera is 6th with $52,663. And another pro rodeo team, that 2016 world champion header Levi Simpson and NFR qualifier Cole Davison added a total of $12,442 to their earnings. They won Livingston, Montana Roundup. They're 4.2 there. They also placed 3rd in the average at the St. Paul Rodeo with a 10.6 on 2 head. And they placed 7th in the first round with a 5.4 second run and tied for 5th in the second round with Eric Rogers and Peyton Bray for 5th with a 5.2 second run. Levi is 27th in the world standings, and Davison is 18th.
And then, before we kind of roll into the rest of the episode, the other teams that did really well, Cody Snow and Wesley Thorpe, they really needed to get rolling. I think they had kind of a rough time through Reno. So they won about 11 or 12,000. Lane Ivy and Cesar De La Cruz, they won a little over 11,000 as well. So those are the teams that were super hot. Everybody, I think a lot of the teams that should have done well did do pretty well. And then there were some teams that kind of had a bad 4th, which we won't name any names. But, man, we were pulling for everybody to kind of pick things up heading into Cheyenne week because Cheyenne is next week.
Woohoo! That's exciting.
Yep. All right, moving into the Resistol Rookie race.
That Cal Fuller, he's still number 1.
In the heading.
On the Resistol Rookie race. He placed 3rd with Casper Roy at the Big Fork, Montana, with a 4.8 second run, and they placed 6th in the average at the Pinoca Stampede with 22.3 seconds on 3 head.
And got a little go-round money en route to that as well, so that's awesome.
Yes.
And then Garrett Chick, he's surging.
He's 2nd in the heading. They placed 5th in the average at Prescott, Arizona, 13.6 on 2 head. They won a little bit of round money in the second round, and they also tied for 6th at the Red Lodge, Montana, with a 4.5.
That rodeo got muy rapido, so I'm glad to see Garrett getting a little bit of that money because that rodeo was super quick.
Another Resistol header, that Brody Jones, is 7th. He was 7th at the West Jordan, Utah, with a 6.8 second run. Paid almost $500 there. And then another Resistol Rookie header, Clayton Eggers, is 8th. He tied for 4th at Topenish, Washington, with a 6.6 second run. And then 2 Resistol Rookies are roping together, Coy and Colton Britton. They placed 9th at Belfouche with 5.5 second run, and they tied for 1st at Mandan, North Dakota, with a 5.5 second run. Obviously, on the heel side, we know Peyton Bray is leading the standings right now with $28,325. Another heeler is Heath Williams. He's 3rd right now. He placed 4th at Mesquite, Texas, with a 7.1 second run. 2nd in Salem, Arkansas, 12.0. And 1st at Ashflack, Arkansas, with an 8.3 second run. And then lastly, another Resistol Rookie heeler is 4th, Carson Johnson. He and his brother, Kellen, they placed 7th, tied for 7th in Belfouche, South Dakota, with a 5.3 second run. They placed 6th at Mandan, 7.0, and 5th at Mobridge, South Dakota, with a 5.7 second run.
Nice.
So that's a little wrap-up of the Resistol Rookies.
Awesome. All right, and on the circuit front, we're going to have a full update on the circuit stuff this week on our website. We're doing that every week, courtesy of Fastback Ropes. And as things are kind of coming in and updating through the circuits, I just want to make sure you know that we're doing that and Fastback's supporting it because it's super fun. And it's a kind of a different way to cover the sport that we don't give the circuit guys enough love. So it's our chance.
Yes.
Yes, so watch for that on teamropingjournal.com. All right, now this week we have Jade Corkill on the short score. So if you've listened this long, your reward is Jade Corkill and his kind of take on the way things are going right now for him and Clay Smith and kind of the unbelievable run that they've had thus far. So check it out, enjoy, and we appreciate y'all listening. Hi, it's both of us.
Hello, both of us.
Hello, Jade. What are you doing?
Can you hear me okay or no?
You sound brilliant right now.
I sound brilliant?
Yes, it's coming through brilliantly. The audio sounds remarkable.
Oh.
I'm just trying out new
That's what I was
adjectives.
hoping for.
Yeah, I was just trying to make it sound better than it was. You sound good. Sound great.
I like brilliant.
You do sound brilliant. Yeah. So you're sitting on top of a mountain in Estes Park?
I am. It's it's nice up here, but the ride down doesn't look very good.
Was it like on a...
I didn't mind coming straight up, but now we got to go. I rode the little the little tram cart thing. It's just on 2 cables, and it goes from the bottom of the hill on the other side to the top of the hill on this side. Which is all great until you're halfway and the wind starts blowing. And then once you get up here, then you have to go straight down first to get back to where you came from.
Is it storming up there? It's storming. Or getting ready to storm here in Boulder.
Yeah, it looks like it might, yeah. The wind is, especially where I'm at right now, the wind's blowing pretty hard.
Ooh, so no better time than to be on top of a mountain.
No better time.
Awesome. Well, you're on top of a mountain with $25,000 in your bank account that wasn't there a week ago. Tell me about
That's right.
How does that feel? How does this Cowboy Christmas compare? Obviously, it's your best one yet.
It is, yeah. I don't know that the other 12 or whatever I've had added together would equal 25,000. So this is by far the best one.
Yeah. Was it Clay? Was it the horse? You looked so confident every time I saw you, or you roped so confidently. Tell me about how you felt.
I think it's just a combination. I've kind of like a few things we've talked about, here before, recent times or whatever, that I've kind of figured out, as far as myself goes, that maybe I didn't not know it beforehand, but just figured out a better way to not forget it, maybe, I guess you could say. Mm-hmm. And to kind of just stay locked in that mode whenever I am about to rope somewhere or whatever. But and then I think just too, like, being older, like, it's not like I don't know how it is out here, and what happens, and just to kind of know how to not really necessarily worry about being behind, or if you didn't win over the fourth, how it's not that big a deal, or just the little ins and outs of stuff like that I think just takes time and experience to kind of know what to do. I think that helps a lot.
I'm not sure that everybody that's listened to this or that is going to listen to this podcast has read everything we've written about you lately, but you've been kind of working on your position and how quickly you get to the steer and not panicking through the corner, right? Or go into the steer.
Right.
Talk a little bit about that.
Well, just trying to not necessarily think about how fast, everything is kind of nowadays, like, and realize that no matter what is going on, I still have to wait for the steer to turn before I can do anything. So, just not anticipating like when the head rope goes on, not trying, I'm sure I'm still messing up doing it sometimes, but trying to not anticipate going in too early and then having to pick back up and then trying to gauge, when I do need to go and being too close, because it just kind of makes you to where, then you're kind of committed to one or two shots right there no matter what. And so that's basically all I've been trying to avoid is getting in a spot to where I'm already committed before it happens, just in case, it doesn't happen like I was expecting or hoping to, and then causing a no time or causing a mess up, so it's kind of I guess, or like I've called it before, maybe like trying to disengage from the time of the run that's happening and kind of be on my own time, I guess, and not get caught up in what's going on the other side, and just treating it like heading and healing and waiting for my turn, I guess.
Yeah. Now, those shots, I got to see you rope at Greeley. That looked like a pretty tough shot in the short round. Did it feel like it was a tough shot, or were you just kind of waiting for that run to come together and it just happened?
Well, that situation, yeah, it was. I would say it was a tough shot, but it wasn't a tough shot at the same time because of the situation I was in. Mm-hmm. Had I been in a different situation, it would have been a shot that I wasn't necessarily just wanting to have to take, because that steer was kind of stronger, and when he turned him, he was kind of pulling towards the catch pin and kind of hopping to where he was kind of pulling his legs up underneath him a little bit. So just being the situation we were in, I just made sure I got close and got over the top of him to where I could get some separation and keep my rope high on the feet and not risk losing him. Because I wasn't even necessarily worried about losing a leg. A steer that handled like that one did, you can lose both feet pretty easy. So, so I was just trying to, do what I've tried to train myself to catch. So if I get in situations like that, I know what to do. And it wasn't like a safety up thing. It was just a kind of a do what I needed to do type thing. I wasn't worried about trying to put pressure on the team to go after us because they had a second on us anyway. And even if they didn't, just like what happened, they haven't even roped their steer yet. So I can't try to do something that hasn't been done. So I was just going to be happy with second and take the lead and move on, because it's a difference of $400 or $500. You know what I mean? It's not, if I miss that steer, we lose $3,500. If I catch him and they beat us, we lose $400. So, and we still gain $3,100. So it's not that, I try to think of it that way, to where it isn't like, oh, we lost whatever we lost or could have won first. Well, it didn't really matter, So take what you can get.
But then the shot at Eugene that you posted the video of, that was like a completely different shot, and you were on a different horse. Tell me about how that run came together.
That run was we were in the slack that morning, and that was the first thing. Or I guess they had a first perf the night before, maybe, and then we were in the slack the next morning. And there was 3 perfs after that, and the steers they were kind of older, and Eugene's just one head, and so you could kind of tell we were like 12th out probably in the slack, but you could just kind of tell by the steers that it was probably going to get pretty fast. And so we just, as in those situations, I wasn't going to pass up a shot for sure, because that there's that many good steers that somebody's going to catch fast, so you might as well try to win first. And luckily we had a good one too, and just worked out that we did.
And the Christmas trees, they didn't get in your way at St. Paul?
The second one kind of did. On our second one, like right as I was heeling the steer, Marty kind of ran into it, or had to kind of try to go around it a little bit, but that we talked about that after, because there were some horses that day, and you see them all the time, like they'll stop at the tree or they'll kind of scotch at it and try to go around, and that horse, he just went right through it. So I just had said something to him afterwards. I said, man, that's how you know you got a good one, if they'll run right through the wall or through the tree, whatever you need them to do. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Now, I've been meaning to kind of ask you this for a while, and you can just say pass and we don't have to talk about it. But I feel like when you were younger, you used to talk a lot more about how important the gold buckle was, and like I felt like you were so focused on winning the world every year, and that it was like all or nothing. Do you feel like that still?
I don't. I hate saying the reason why, really. But it's the truth, and it's honestly like it was the year that Brock died in Cheyenne that it just kind of all hit. That like, or I guess what I didn't think of it right then, but I was like thinking I would give anything, including a gold buckle, back without question to have that not happen. So that's what made it like, okay, well, does that really? So what's the point then? You know. Mm-hmm. It's something that, because when you really think about it, the way I've thought about it now is it's just a personal goal. Even though it's a personal goal for a majority of people, that doesn't make it more so all of a sudden, you know. Mm-hmm. If my goal was to be the best healer in Fallon, Nevada, well, that's also a personal goal. So I feel like if you just have a personal goal, well, then achieve it or not, it only matters to you. So when I got to thinking about it more so, I was like, I'm the only one that cares if I'm going to win it or not. And so if it doesn't mean more to me than that, then it's not that big a deal. If I get it, great. If I don't, well, then I'm going to try. I knew I was going to try as hard as I could regardless. And so, you know, the way I am now, I've kind of realized the fact that that's all you can do, and you can't do anything you can't control. So, I mean, even though I say that, I'm still out here trying to win it. If I'm going to rodeo, I'm trying as hard as I can to win it. But if I don't, it's not the end of the world to me, you know.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely.
And it was a big weight off. Like, I feel like a huge weight off my shoulders once I kind of. And I mean, it's like I said, it's all perspective. But once I kind of understood, had it kind of calculated around to where I understood it better, then it was a lot easier for me to rope and to not worry about it if I didn't do good for a while.
Yeah, I get it. So does it feel good, though, to be back out now?
Yeah, it does. I mean, I feel like I finally got, which, and, you know, I think it's something that if you do something long enough at any kind of level, but especially at a higher level, I think everybody goes through, you know, something like that, or like not that I lost motivation, but it was like I was trying hard, and then I win it 3 times in a row, and I was thinking to myself the whole time, I'm like, nobody wants to do worse than they did the year before. So I had one spot to go to just do as good as I did the year before, and so it kind of hit a point where like I didn't have no more to do. I couldn't try. I was wearing myself out, and my horses out, and everybody around me probably out, that it was just too much, you know what I mean? Kind of, mm-hmm. And so it kind of went the other way. And then, I mean, I think it's all just kind of mental, honestly, but like now I don't practice near as much as I used to, or probably should, but I feel like that's what's working the best for me right now. And so I'm learning to do what's like not what everybody thinks you should do what's best for you to do personally, to do as good as you can, and knowing when I'm in that position and knowing when I'm not, and just doing accordingly kind of is what I figured out is kind of the best for me to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm glad that it's going this well. I'm glad that it's working out for sure. Are the boys on the road at all this summer?
Colby's at my parents' house. He stayed there after Reno, and he's been roping and jackpotting a little bit, and says he wants to stay there all summer, so I guess he might not be coming back. But Kelton's out here. He's kind of a trooper, though. He's down for whatever, so mm-hmm. I'm up here. I rode this thing at this mountain for him, so. We're feeding peanuts to chipmunks right now. What we're doing, so
That's awesome.
Risked our life to feed peanuts to chipmunks today.
Estes Park, Colorado. You're doing a commercial for Rocky Mountain National Park.
And he lost his hat too. So there's a free Smarty hat up here on top of this mountain somewhere.
It's like there's going to be a scavenger hunt out there. Folks are going to be looking for the.
They're going to have to be looking for a lost hiker to find it. I think it blew off on the when we got off the thing on the walkway. It rocket right off the top of his head. So it's gone.
That sucks. Well, I think you probably know where to get more Smarty hats. Hopefully, there's not a shortage.
He's a lot more worried about it than I was. I told him we got another one, but he's a little upset, but he'll be all right.
Oh man! All right. Well, Jade, thank you. I will let you get back to your family time. Thank you very much, and good luck the rest of the week.
Yep. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening to this episode of The Short Score. We will be back on Thursday with Brock Hansen and a kind of an episode on switching ends. Also on parenting. I'm going to warn y'all in advance that our kids were there as we recorded this episode, and we did our best to keep it on track. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.